So in this episode, I'm going to be unveiling the results of my test. Your free testosterone levels are Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for joining me for episode 2 of Testosterone Diaries. Here's a quick recap. I've been hearing a lot about testosterone replacement therapy and speaking to friends who are either using it or thinking of using it, and I got really interested in trying to understand if I have low testosterone and what I can do about it. In the last episode, you would have seen me bleed everywhere trying to take my at-home test and get it off in the post. If you're new to this series, just head back there, spend a little bit of time getting up to speed. So throughout this series, I'm going to be learning more about it, sharing it with you, what it's like to take a test, get your results in, and if I do have low testosterone, I'll be exploring the options out there for TRT and basically learning as I go. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, please do subscribe to the channel. If you know someone who's thinking about TRT or interested in what the experience looks like of getting started with it, share this series with them. That helps our channel grow and hopefully helps that friend out too. So in this episode, I'm going to be unveiling the results of my test. But before I do that, let me fill you in what I've been up to since the last time. Matt and I took a trip to Porto in Portugal. We ate a lot of food, we drank a lot of coffee, and we also got some training in as well, in a really nice hotel. When Matt and I were out in Portugal, we were training in the hotel gym, and the lighting in there was incredible. So I got Matt to take a couple of pictures of me and I posted them on our Instagram and asked the audience, do you think at 42 years old that my testosterone levels are high, normal or low? And nobody chose the low option. And that got me thinking, is it because saying somebody has low testosterone might offend them? Or is it just because, you know, I look pretty good under those lights and there's no possible way? I even having a conversation in the gym with a guy who we were chatting about TRT, and he said, you don't have low testosterone just based on my body. So yeah, interesting to get those results back. If you're part of the crew, you'll know that we did some travel vlogs when I visited Matt out in Austria. And I'm going to be putting together a vlog of the Portugal trip as soon as I can get around to it. If you like food, you like coffee, and you like me and Matt trying to speak Portuguese, then definitely look out for that. Since I started posting about TRT, I've had quite a few conversations actually with more people, part of the Garage Built Athlete crew, messaging me and letting me know about their experience with it. My friends who are either thinking about doing it or a couple of weeks or a couple of months ahead of me in terms of understanding their testosterone levels. Some who are currently having TRT, and I wanted to share a little bit about the kind of conversations that I've been having, because when I speak to these people, it makes me think more positively about TRT, and I want to explore that topic and make it easier for people to talk about having low testosterone. Now, because you're watching this video, you're probably going to get bombarded by the algorithm with more testosterone videos, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's easy to have a conversation with someone or really try and move forward with your own thinking and your own process. So I just encourage you, if you have any questions, then reach out, drop them in the comments section, get in touch either through direct message on Instagram or Facebook, through the Garage Built Athlete page, and I'll be more than happy to have a chat with you. But let me share some of the conversations that I've been having. Now, this was a really interesting one, and it kind of brought to life how men aren't really comfortable with being public about being on TRT and how it's a personal thing. And I totally get that, absolutely understand that. But when I posted about making a video series on TRT, I had one of our crew reach out and send me this. They said, man, I started TRT about a year ago and it has changed my life. I was really low when I started. He said 393 to be precise. I'm not quite sure what that means, but now I'm around 780 and can notice a huge difference in my quality of life. And that is a great testimony for TRT. And this guy trains regularly, really strong dude, has been strong for a long time, way before doing TRT. So I asked them, would you be happy for me to share that? And this is what really piqued my interest and kind of got me thinking more about how easy it is to talk about things and the stigma that's attached with getting help with your testosterone levels. So they said, let me think about it. It's really hard, and unfortunately, there's a misconception that being on TRT is cheating, and I don't want people to think that I only lift the weights I lift just because of it. I've been doing big numbers for years prior to taking TRT, but people won't look at it like that. I could be 100% wrong, but I don't know. And then they asked for my thoughts. They were happy for me to share anonymously, so thank you very much for that. I really appreciate your comments and interaction. I also had another friend of mine who got me thinking and started down this journey when I went to visit them. And they actually shared some of the links for other sources of testosterone that they use. And they said that they have one tiny bottle, they're doing an 8-week cycle with an increase in the middle and then back down again. They then followed up to say that they increased their dose a couple of days ago and they feel great and had a really good session in the gym. And he said he's feeling really good about it and he wants to feed back on the experience, not just to me, but to a wider audience about how he feels. And he actually asked if we could do a podcast on it together. So that's really encouraging. And maybe we'll get a testosterone interview lined up soon. Although it's only a handful of interactions, it's quite a big percentage of the people that have actually watched that video. And it's also encouraged some more people to ask me and tell me that they're interested in it and that they're really keen to see what happens next and the journey that unfolds from here. So now we're all caught up. I think I've strung it out long enough before I reveal the results. Just trying to get those watch hours up now, come on. So I'll dive into my emails to give you an idea of the timeline. So I took the test and then sent it off through the post office on Monday. And by Thursday, I had the results of the test back in my email. So pretty quick turnaround, 3 working days. I wasn't having to wait very long. And let me dive into that email for you now. Your free testosterone levels are low. So I have low testosterone with low free testosterone. And I'm going to spend a little bit of time in this video just talking a bit about what that is and what that means so that you can learn with me as I go, because I'm not a scientist. I think we're all clear about that. So I can now dive into the full results. So it's given me my overall score, which is low. Let's get into the ins and outs of it. So within the account on manual, you've got a homepage section which shows your progress. And here it says the testosterone levels are low, 13.9 nanomoles per litre. I had to look that up in terms of what that actually means. So a nanomole is a billionth of the particle or substance per litre of fluid. So that would be the blood. So I have 13.9 nanomoles of testosterone per litre in my blood, which is what they're saying is quite low. So here's the doctor again to explain a bit about my results.
Hi, my name's Dr. Jeff Foster, Director of Men's Health at VOI. Your blood test has come back showing that you have a low total testosterone. Optimal total testosterone level should be anywhere between sort of 15 and 30 nanomoles in a fit and healthy adult male. Total testosterone simply refers to the amount of testosterone that your testicles can produce. And the free testosterone is the amount of bioavailable or usable testosterone in your system. Either way, your results are low. But we can't make a diagnosis of testosterone deficiency based on just one test. And therefore, we need a second test which not only confirms your diagnosis, but also looks for any other causes of why your testosterone could be low and to make sure you are safe to undergo any treatment. Press continue to book your recommended blood test.
There we go. So you can see here, I've got just slightly below normal range. It says your testosterone levels are low. If I have symptoms of low testosterone, then I'm likely to benefit from TRT. So we jump into some of the details here. What are symptoms of low testosterone? So symptoms can include decreased sex drive, erectile dysfunction, loss of morning erections, there's a lot of erection chat, anxiety, sleep problems, irritability, poor concentration, and low muscle mass. Well, I'm going to be honest with you, I'm all right with the first few of those. I'm not packing much, but it works. But in terms of anxiety, sleep problems, irritability, poor concentration, low muscle mass, in the leg department, definitely. Sometimes it gets me thinking, like, if you start to list enough symptoms, then someone's going to put their hand up at some point and go, oh yeah, I've got that. But the more I read about testosterone levels, the more I feel like that is generally what the symptoms are. So the reading for this one, which is slightly below, is for testosterone. So there's testosterone and there's free testosterone. And like the doctor was saying there, there's the amount that you can produce and then the amount which is available to be used. So a little bit of info on that. So testosterone is classed as an androgen, which is a group of hormones responsible for the development of male traits and reproductive activity. In males, testosterone is primarily produced in the testes, with small amounts produced in the adrenal glands. It's crucial for the development of primary male reproductive tissues, such as testes and prostate. It also promotes secondary sexual characteristics like increased muscle and bone mass and the growth of body hair. I knew it. Sideburns were an early warning sign. It plays a significant role in sexual desire, libido, can affect mood, energy levels, and overall well-being. Testosterone levels are highest during adolescence and early adulthood. As you get older, testosterone typically starts to decline at an average rate of about 1% per year. Once you get above 40, like me, it's 1 to 2% every year. That'll start dipping. And then there's more information here about what it does. So increases energy levels, sex drive, controls bone mass, fat distribution, muscle mass, production of red blood cells, aid in fertility. Don't need that. Harrison and Chloe, perfect. Don't need any more of them. Helps maintain your mood, probably do with some of that. And then there's more about sleep problems, irritability, poor concentration. I was actually talking to a chap this morning who's been diabetic for a long time and is interested in this, and he was saying about how he has to have blood tests and enhanced blood tests regularly for his diabetes, and is curious to learn a bit more about what testosterone would do and how that would impact, because having low levels of testosterone can result in insulin resistance, which gives you an increased risk of diabetes, which I never knew. Okay, so that's testosterone, but what about free testosterone? So this is where I am smack bang in the middle of the low range. So free testosterone is testosterone that is unbound and available to be used by the whole body. When a cell binds to free testosterone, its functionality is enabled. Testosterone is a key male hormone that acts like an engine in your body, and it helps with many things, as we've talked through. So this free testosterone is floating around, ready to be used, and locked in wherever it's needed, pumped around your body. I'm not producing enough, which therefore means there's not enough free testosterone, which is what my body needs to use to help me function. There's two more in here, which I'll run through. So I've got high sex hormone-binding globulin, or SHBG. This is a binding protein that sticks to testosterone and determines how much free or available testosterone you can actually use. Your SHBG is high, which may reduce the available testosterone for you to use in the body. So it says may reduce, okay? So SHBG helps to regulate levels in the bloodstream, so levels of hormones, control their availability to cells and tissues. It plays a crucial role in balancing your hormones and ensuring that the right amount of each hormone is available for your body's needs. When they're too high or too low, it can impact the availability of testosterone. So again, I haven't got as much testosterone as I could have, and it's not being made available throughout my body. Albumin, last one. This is a binding protein that sticks to testosterone and determines how much free or available testosterone you can actually use. My ALB is high, which may reduce the available testosterone for you to use in the body. Again, may. What does it do? It plays a crucial role in maintaining the right balance of fluids in your blood vessels, which transport the hormones. It also acts as a carrier for various hormones, which helps keep things like testosterone stable and transports it to different parts of my body. So maybe my albumin isn't getting through to my calves because they clearly need some. And there's information here about causes of high albumin and the causes of low albumin, which look quite scary. So high albumin could be a falsely elevated result due to severe dehydration. No. Certain medications, such as steroids and insulin. No. I don't take those and I drink enough water, so I think I'm good for that. And then low albumin, which I haven't got, but causes of that could be liver disease, kidney disease, gut disease, malnutrition, cancer. Nasty stuff. So look out, boys. I hope that was useful. I feel a little bit more educated around what testosterone is. And now I know that that first test shows I'm low. I am going to go ahead and get the second test just to make sure that it was an accurate test and that there's nothing underlying that might stop me from going ahead. Or I might find out that actually that was just a duff result and I'm all good. Next steps on this process with manual is to have that enhanced test done. And there's a few options that you can take. You can book yourself in a clinic. You can have a nurse come to your home and take the blood samples, or you could get a test kit delivered and have somebody who knows how to draw blood help you with taking the samples. They vary in price. The clinic option I think is around £80, and then the home visit was something like 120. The home test kit currently is £50. There were no clinic options available and I didn't want to pay 120 quid because you know me, I like a bargain. I'm not made of money. So I asked around and have lined up one of my friends who's a nurse that's going to be able to help me out when I do get the kit come through. Well, I will say when I ordered the kit on the website crashed. Tried to call through to manual, their phone lines were down. I think they were having some server errors, but just be careful when you're ordering because when I put my order through, it ordered me 2 home tests and it booked me in for a nurse visit. Luckily, it didn't charge me for all 3 and got onto the email straight away, explained to manual what had happened, that the website had errored. They were able to refund me for one of the home test kits and I think it's still coming out to me, but they said that they couldn't cancel the order, but they could refund me. I've noticed a few things on their website that could do with a little bit of attention. Like there were some results on 9th of December 2022, so I don't know what's going on with their calendars. And there's a couple of spelling errors as well, which I would like to think people are doing their best, but if you're going to be putting some trust into a company, especially around hormones and could be injecting things, you really want them to be 100% on it. I think that about wraps things up for this video. Thanks for watching. If you liked it, drop a like. If you've got any questions or comments, put them down below. I do answer them, I do reply. Get in touch if you want to share what's going on with your testosterone or ask me any questions. You can come through directly on Instagram or Facebook. If you're new here and you liked the video, please do subscribe. It really helps us out. And remember to share it with a friend who might be interested in TRT. In the next episode, join me whilst I take that second blood test. You can experience it alongside me, learn from all my mistakes, and we'll keep learning together. See ya!